This is the Flagpoint system demon. Okay, so how do I work? The following. Now it's been mentioned that it's a suggestion, a very pliable suggestion, to place all your system demons in and of your world on a piece of paper. Map it out for you. Put yourself in the center, then place that web that has become you on that piece of paper. All your system demons, you put it on there. Every single one. Okay? Now, what you do is you do the following. Now you take them one by one. Now this is your own process of self-forgiveness you're able to do. Okay? Take now, for instance, now first you put the web that is you on a piece of paper, where you see all that you've become, which reflects back to you of all the system demons that you have allowed within your world, to which you've defined yourself accordingly. Okay, now you take, for instance, now you've got the map on a piece of paper. If you have to buy yourself a huge cardboard paper, which is obviously what will happen, you do that. And you write everything down. Then you have another piece of paper, okay? On that piece of paper, you do the following. You write you, and then the one system demon of that other huge piece of paper you've written down all your system demons on. Then you take them on one by one. You write down your forgiveness applications, or you're able to speak it loudly. When you write it down and you speak it, it's also effective. But you have to be honest with you, okay? Or if you want to type it out, type it out. But writing is suggested because you're doing it as you. Okay, so now let's look at the following. Let's say now you're sitting in front of a huge white cardboard piece of paper, round circle in the center, and you say me. Or you can say I. Then you push out all the lines and you write down all your system demons. Okay, you map yourself out and you look, you probably go, oh my fuck, is that me? Yes, it is you. Forgive yourself for that moment. So I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to say, oh my fuck, is that me? Forgive myself that I've allowed myself to judge myself the moment I've actually started seeing what the fuck I've become. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to actually define myself according to all these system demons. And then you'll start realizing an interesting thing coming up. A motivation. You realize that I've only been systems. What exists beyond this? That's the forgiveness process which you start with. Then you start. Okay. Now you write. Now you choose one. Let's say, let's take relationship. Okay. We're going to take relationship from two perspectives. One, desiring a relationship if you're not in one, and then in a relationship already. So let's take desiring a relationship first. You've got your system demon there. It says desiring a relationship. Okay, now you write on your piece of paper, you say I, line, desiring a relationship. Now you write down, I forgive myself that I've allowed myself, or you repeat now after me. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to desire a relationship. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to believe that the completeness of me exists in a relationship. I forgive myself that I haven't allowed myself to love me. I forgive myself that I haven't allowed myself to accept me. I forgive myself that I haven't allowed myself to realize that the desire for a relationship only exists when I haven't accepted myself. I forgive myself that I haven't allowed myself to realize that a desire for a relationship only exists because I haven't loved myself. I forgive myself that I haven't allowed myself to realize what self-acceptance is. I forgive myself that I haven't allowed myself to realize what self-love is. I forgive myself that I have allowed myself to be honest with me in realizing that I don't know what love is. I forgive myself that I haven't allowed myself to be honest with me in realizing that I don't know what self-acceptance is. And therefore, I went to a desire of relationship for a fast way out, rather than actually having to look inside me, asking me, what is self-love and what is self-acceptance? I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to desire a relationship based on pictures implanted in my mind of television. Now you have to look at the following. Here you have to be honest with yourself. When you desire a relationship, you're able to do this. Put that desire inside you, okay, as you become it. What you'll notice is an interesting thing. Put that desire in feeling, become that feeling of desire. Why do I say that? Because you must go look where your mind is going into that desire. Where are your thoughts going? Where are your feelings going, your emotions? Then you go. And as that desire, you forgive yourself. It's fascinating to do that, because as that desire, you forgive yourself. You say, I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to manifest this desire as me. I forgive myself that my thoughts have gone to pictures on television and magazines that I've seen. I forgive myself that I desire a relationship because of jealousy of other people seemingly being happy within a relationship that I had seen. And so you continue. Next one, now you go, you're in a relationship. Now you're right. I, in a relationship. Now you have a look. Now you must be honest with yourself here. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to fear losing this person in my world. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to define myself according to this person, and I know that because if I were to lose this person, I would die. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to place love in a separate manifestation within me according to this partner I am with. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to abuse myself, and in that abused my partner, because I'm controlling this relationship because I need this relationship to define me. I forgive myself that I've allowed my own self-expression, and in that not allowing my partner's own self-expression. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to be in this relationship because I'm scared of me, of my own self-expression. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to stand alone. Therefore, I'm in a relationship with a partner because everyone else is with the partner. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to be in a relationship to be like everyone else in society. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to be in this relationship because I desire sex. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to place the enjoyment of sex according to a physical act separate from me. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to realize that I don't know what self-expression is while having sexual intercourse with another being. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to experience guilt and judgment when I experience myself being interested in other men or women while I'm with my partner. Human beings, that happens a lot. You'll realize that happens, and you have to be honest with you when that happens. If you're not able to tell your partner, for instance, you know what, I just saw that guy or girl walk past, and all of a sudden I became interested in that person. If you're not able to say that in absolute honesty to your partner, and then together apply forgiveness in what you experience in that moment, you have a problem in the relationship. There exists secrecy. There exists hiding. Then you have to look at intimacy. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to never be intimate with me. I forgive myself that I don't know what is self-intimacy because I've never been intimate with me, and therefore rather be in a relationship separate from me than have to discover me. Relationship manifestations in all its facets and forms are hideaway places human beings because human beings fear themselves as who they really are because they haven't known who they are. And the forgiveness process is a bridge to that. Thank you very much. Enjoy.